Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 22 with me, Dan, and the BMW Slothz Tech team. We're off the back of a win in Canada and, well, now we've got the home Grand Prix to do, which is going to be one hell of a battle, given that Lando Norris is also going to be looking to pick up the win here. As we skim through all of this random stuff before the start of the race, go to the race weekend. It's off to practice. Once again, as many resource points as possible. Get the reliability upgrades in. We're probably not going to be getting any performance upgrades. We've got all the aero. We only need a couple of power unit ones. One of them being the fuel efficiency, which is available for a discount right now. And then the brakes and tyre wear. I think there's one apiece for them for the chassis. Everything else is in reliability. And the goal is to get to the end of the season without having to replace any parts and take any penalties, because chances are Norris will. So any race where he does that, we need to be taking advantage, or alternatively replacing our whole engine as well. But there's no way of knowing, which is a little bit disappointing. Anyway, in terms of next season, of course, we'll be reset, so it won't really matter. We're going to be putting 100% effort into finishing this season with the highest reliability of any team, and hopefully not replacing any parts. F1 23, of course, will be starting all over again, more than likely with a medium, sort of mid-tier team this time, compared to the last one, which was absolutely horrific. Of course, if things do get a little bit easier, we may change it at some stage as well. Anyway, on to reliability upgrades. The ICE for failure analysis looks like a very inviting one, because the power unit, the actual internal combustion engine, is important. So then, it's Grand Prix time. Norris will be looking for a win here to get back at us for Canada, where he crashed into us for no reason at all. And, of course, we'll be looking to win here, considering that the past few times that we've not been able to do it at all. I believe we did in Season 3, but Alonso beat us beforehand. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you know when all of our races are uploaded, and you know whether or not we're going to win the Drivers' Championship or not. Or, of course, you could watch this in about 3 weeks' time and just watch the season finale, because at that point you'll know whether or not we've got a chance of winning. We'll go on to the starting grid now, and it looks as though Lando Norris did in fact beat us to pole position by less than a tenth there, 0.052 of a second. Incredibly close between us. Then we have Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso, both winners here, Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez, Robert Schwartzman and Carlos Sainz, and finally George Russell and Esteban Ocon. Behind them we have Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Liam Lawson. Then it's Alex Albon ahead of Oscar Piastri, Mick Schumacher and his teammate Zhou Guanyu, Kevin Magnussen and Dan Ticktum, Théo Pourchaire, and finally it's Nicholas Latifi once again starting from the back. Although he's missing his usual friend at the back, Dan Ticktum, who's managed to outshine his competitors and actually get one place higher up the grid than normal for his home Grand Prix. Some Formula race results on there, and you can see that Norris won 2 of the last 3 races and currently sits a tidy 41 points ahead of us in the Drivers' Championship. So what can we do here today to try and close up the gap? You just have to stick around and see what happens as we zoom in on Charles Leclerc, who really couldn't care less about what happens at this race. Right then, this is the big one. Can we defeat our teammate here in Britain? There's only one way to find out. The lights go out and we are away here. Robert Schwartzman getting a bit dicey in the background as we come into turn 1, but Max Verstappen has already got ahead of us. Out of the start there, Fernando Alonso trying to make moves on Charles Leclerc, trying to regain some positions as well, but we've managed to lock ourselves into P3. Not the worst start we've ever had, but certainly not the best. At the back of the field, Dan Ticktum already dropped down to penultimate last. As we've got Charles Leclerc, is he going to try and make a move up here? No, he does not. But Verstappen, he's going to prove to be a bit of an issue here, I think, because we've got to try and get past him if he doesn't try and battle Norris. If he battles Norris, great, we can take the pair of them at the same time. If he doesn't, then we're in trouble because we're going to have to try and catch him ourselves. And you could see from the qualifying that we only got within half a tenth of Norris. So this is going to be a pretty big challenge for us. Anyway, away with Verstappen. This was his start, nice and easy there. Left-hand side of the grid must be a little bit nicer to drive away from. This was our start. You could just about hear the wheels bogging down there as they span up and just kicked up dust and grit into whoever was sat behind us on the grid. This is lap 3. We're chasing down Verstappen, and if you look at the halo, we've got a little bit of rain coming down. Not planned, though. So the question is, can we get past Verstappen? He does try to block us in the braking zone, but we're past him anyway. We squeeze him against the curb and let him go and sit behind us, where Fernando Alonso will presumably wait until the opportune moment and try and take away a podium from him. But yeah, the other big question, will the rain prove to be an issue? There was no rain expected for this Grand Prix, so we don't think that it will go to intermediates. I hope it doesn't, because Miami was horrific and I don't want a repeat performance of that. But we've got to be careful. Let's listen in.
And gap to the car in front is 1.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 28.3.
1 minute 28.3. So our best is a 1:28.4. So let's see what we get as we come across the line here. That is a 1:28.2. It's our fastest lap as well, which is great. So we're reeling him in just very slowly, and I think this race is probably the one that I've used the race engineer the most. 20 minutes of light rain coming in, but based on that, no actual intermediate tyres to put on. We're on lap 7, so Norris has come in, we've stayed out just in case, probably for no reason. And there we go. Well, I actually just noticed there was an alert on the HUD there, which I'm assuming is for tyre wear, because we did stay out about 2 laps longer than I was supposed to on this set of softs, primarily because I didn't know what Norris was doing, and if this rain does come down hard, I don't really want to be coming in a second time. But this is Norris coming through the final few corners down towards Club now. It's either the Williams up ahead battle or one of them is in the pit lane. I'm not really sure which one, but no one cares right now. He comes round onto the pit straight. Where are we? We're still in the pit lane, I think. I can't see us. We're not there. There we are in the background. So we are behind him, just about within DRS range, but with a little bit of effort, we might actually be able to catch up. Nicholas Latifi is leading the race. I don't think I've ever said that before. He's just come into the pit lane. Into the final couple of corners we go. We're onto the podium. We're back where we started as we go over the sausage curb, which actually made me almost shit myself watching that. And through turn 1 we go, chasing down Lando Norris. Rejoining lap 9, coming around the final couple of corners. We've closed to just over a second. This is the closest we've been since we started the race. We just got a 1:28.252, which I think is fractionally faster than my previous fastest lap, which we got earlier on in the video. And that, although not much, is we're reeling him in. I think he must be getting about 1:28.3, so we're just about nibbling away at the lead. We didn't get the DRS that time, but we are closing. I accidentally opened the radio there, and for some reason didn't say anything or asked not Jeff to say anything, so that was weird. But look at that, half a second flashed up for a second there. Another race update on Lando Norris. Behind us, we've got Charles Leclerc, Verstappen and Alonso, so they're all swapping positions. Looks like Sainz is there as well, and Alonso is going to fight Verstappen into Copse. No, he's not. He's given up. But this is the main battle here. Lap 10. We're going to get DRS. Will we get close enough on lap 10 to get past him? We're closing in rapidly on our teammate. Norris knows it as well. But it's not going to be this time. We're going to have to wait for another lap. Coming through Copse on lap 11. Running slightly wide there. I'm not entirely sure what happened. It looks as though the car just stopped turning for a second. Through to Maggots and Beckett's we go, taking as much of that curb as possible. And our teammate is now less than half a second ahead of us. We've got the ERS deployment, we've got the DRS open, we've got the rain falling, which hopefully slows him down. But we get past our teammate. He's going to challenge around the outside. It's going to be a battle, but no, he slots in behind us. Will he challenge like Carlos Sainz did here last season? No, he does not. He gives us the place. We run slightly wide through Club. Onto the penultimate lap we go, ahead of our teammate. This was the onboard from Norris. He does hold it round the outside quite well, but he actually lost the rear end there, which made him drop back just a little bit. And, well, any kind of mistake like that is enough to cost you. This is Norris, again, trying to get past us round the final couple of corners. Not succeeded. And here we go, final lap. He is a BMW's following distance away from hitting the back of our car and also overtaking us. Well, if you look at Canada, it's definitely a crash. But here, more than likely an overtake. As we come through the first few corners of Village onto the Wellington straight we go. The rain's still not playing a major part in this, but what will be is our ERS deployment. All the way down the straight. We're going to save it up now. We'll try and pull a lead. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing in the cockpit right now. Probably concentrating beyond belief. AlphaTauri have somehow not got a retirement in this race either. If you remember from the last video, they retired one of the cars. I'm pretty sure they've retired from most of the races this season. They're still in it. Charles Leclerc, 8 seconds behind almost, is the lead that we have over the other guy that will join us on the podium. Alonso's dropped back, so he's not going to challenge. Verstappen is now behind Alonso and may still get P4 before the end of the race. But here comes Norris. What can he do? Down the hangar straight. He's not able to challenge, but we run slightly wide as we come through. Can he challenge us now? He's going to try around the outside, but we hold a good defensive line, and he's not able to do it. Lando Norris once again settles to finish the race, looking at the back of our car as we make a lovely drift there over the finish line in front of our home crowd. Norris drives off into the distance, having a tantrum that he once again lost to his teammate, and Charles Leclerc picks up the driver of the day as we come through to celebrate. Well, in fact, not celebrating at all in front of the crowd until we actually reach Parc Fermé. For some reason, our driver decided that the crowd did not deserve any kind of waving beyond a few initial ones that he did. And we receive another trophy. Again, every win in this season has been taken by a BMW car and driver. But what will happen for the remaining races? Stick around to find out. And here are the final results. So we did in fact pick up the fastest lap over our teammate Lando Norris, which means we gain 8 points on him going into the next race. We're joined on the podium by Charles Leclerc, and they're followed by Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Robert Schwartzman, George Russell and Esteban Ocon. Over to the Drivers' Championship then, and Lando Norris reduces his lead to just 33 points now to us in second. Behind us we have Max Verstappen, and then Charles Leclerc jumps ahead of Sergio Perez to take 4th. Behind them, Robert Schwartzman, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, George Russell and Liam Lawson make up the top 10. Further down the order, we have Pierre Gasly, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, Kevin Magnussen, Yuki Tsunoda and Alex Albon rounding up the point scorers, followed by Nicolas Latifi, Teo Pourchaire, Joe Guan Yu, Oscar Piastri, Mick Schumacher and Dan Ticktum. Finally, no changes in the constructors. We remain at the top of the table ahead of Red Bull. Then we have Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Haas, Williams, Aston Martin and Audi. And that's all for now. We'll catch you in the next one.